really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, really interesting how he considered the fold so heavily because people just under bluff in these $400 tournaments. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are his bluffs? You know, like if we really think about it, like sure, ace high, like ace high has some showdown value if you had ace five, and when he raises the turn with maybe some backdoor diamond draw or something like that, he actually gets called. And on this kind of board, like what hands do you have that you're folding?
And it's gonna have some misdraws and things too. So I think calling is the only option myself. Let's see if Boogaloo got away from it. Ooh, call is 6.
So this is close between call.
Really interesting. So call is 6, raise is 7,500 is 10 points. And I'm going to say he said that because this is a very bad player. And so he thinks the very bad player is going to stack off here with worse queens a lot. I'm going to guarantee that's what he's going to say. Very interesting, though. I thought call for sure was the right answer. I never am in this spot. I don't know. Interesting spot, too. I think this is a little bit of a lesson for everyone out there, too. A lot of times, the hands we want to float with, like this one, are better as raises. So this kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, and he was kind of an echo chamber for us there, saying, you know, we just get better hands to call and worse to fold.
Yep.
Like he's going to have some gut shots in his range. He's going to have spade draw. He's going to have king X. And we kind of know, I mean, we kind of identify kind of what cards are going to be bad for us on future streets, and we're aware how to proceed on those cards.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a very good point. You right.
That was the best. You didn't say anything. You won. Just straight up.
You won. I'm just spewing.
All right, so ooh, look at this. You're not opening this. You just looked at this. You're not opening.
Button cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. You are right.
Come on now. Okay. I am. So let's see if he.
He's got to open it, or there wouldn't be a hand.
It wouldn't
I'm
be a
already
quick.
down on points.
You're already down on points in real life. Now, obviously, you're gonna cheat, but
I'm gonna evolve.
you're gonna adapt, right?
All right, let's play it.
I'm going to cry if he says he's folding here. Like, if he's like, yeah, you should be folding this in this kind of tournament, and you were actually right. All right, cool.
Wah, wah.
Like a spot where we have
Ah!
standard.
Yes.
And the reason is because queen.
I just want to say for the record, that this is the best 3-point score I've ever gotten in my life. Because the right answer was fold.
The right. But you heard what he said about the tables. This is a 3K.
Here comes the excuses. 10
The
points
excuses
fold.
to
It says
open
right
if your
here.
table is particularly tight and weak. Welcome to the $5 2K world. I mean, you know, the $11 10K. I'm opening this, yeah, for sure.
This is the best 3 points of my life.
Oh, that's hilarious. And everybody's 50.
Nailed it. What the hell kind of play is that from King Queen? Who does that?
What the hell? Yeah, so Mad Dog.
Jonathan Little's an absolute crusher, so it's nice to have him.
Yeah, I agree, and I
Just
always love
coaching.
playing right after sessions like this because I feel like my brain's warmed up. I'm thinking through things, and so it's a good way to start your session for sure.
Right. All right, guys, this is it.
What's up, Mike? You want to give a gist? He was saying Narco Cop was playing about D-pipping about 28% of hands. He had been very aggressive in this $10 buy-in, and here are the options to fold, to call, to raise to 1,200, raise to... What? Wait a minute, he made it 800, and my man's giving options to 12 and 1,400 apples. So it's already getting kind of spicy. That's so nasty. To be on the site with these other crushers, you know, well-known poker public figures is pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was kind of giving a little intro here too. You know, Assassinato, Matt Affleck, John Little, all coaches on the site, so very highly respectable, quality poker content.
Yep, Evan Jarvis as well. You know, remember Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Assassinato, John Little.
Yeah, so I guess that just makes sense. He just have the ace of clubs in his hand. That's interesting, though. I
How
thought
many
that was
points you got?
interesting.
You didn't do that bad. 45.
I like how you just pat me on the back. You didn't do that bad. Well, yeah, good job, buddy. Like,
The back.
I remember I got the higher score in the first one. So, you know, we're 1 for 1, buddy.
I just want to know.
Calling, guys. Let's see if we're good.
Similar situation. That's pre-flop? I think pre.
All right, guys, we're checking, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
One of the things I teach people when it comes to poker is when you can get to the turn and there's an opportunity.
When you're facing a min raise or just a touch more than a min raise, and there's an ante in play, which is going to be the case in most tournaments, I think, going forward, you want to defend pretty wide. If your opponent's making a 2.
All right, cool. You're going 1,400.
I'm going 1,400, guys.
I'm gonna go call with the arm and just see what happens.
All right, and
I would fold in game though, for the record, in case that's the winning end.
You won. You win. I have to concede. You win.
14K.
14K, let's do it.
Well, no, we cannot win. This is a pretty rough spot because damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where do you gonna get my chat? They like naughty things. They like just beer, alcohol, you know.
All right, let's do I can do a $10 ACR giveaway.
$10 ACR giveaway courtesy of my man Toe. For me beating that ass heads up in this. Sorry. No, we'll do this. We'll have to do it at least once a week, man. And then, you know, we'll do it. We'll do it every week a couple times.
So it's a tie.
I guess we got to give out $10 to each other's communities. We'll just do our own $10 free roll for each. Or does that sound fair?
Yes. You know what this means.
You win. I give his chat $10. Take it.
So that's cool
Filthy
because we have
animal.
2 ties and then a win from you and a win from me. This is like the epic battle. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, we're even Stevens.
This is awesome.
Take it.
I love it.
You know,
Stop. We got a giveaway going. Let's run the giveaway for the $10 ACR winner. Closing the giveaway. Drawing the winner. My man Sebs are getting the $10 ACR giveaway for this one.
okay, there we go. Thanks, Dave.
Going live right now, so it's going to do the intro.
All right. Are you doing your intro? Do your thing.
All right. What up, people? We're back. How y'all doing? We're back for the study stream with today's guest, the Lango. We're going to get better together at doing these pokercoaching.com quizzes. And yeah, it's going to be fun. We'll save the whole big intro for when we meet up with sixes and all that stuff now. And yeah, let's do it. Let's bring him in. What up, guys? You there? Six is still out there doing his thing?
Yo, what's
Hey.
up? We're here. What's
There
up?
he
What's
is.
up? What's up? Oh man, I was just giving Dave the intro, letting everybody know what we're doing this morning, and I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I give a little, just said that we're here with the Lango doing the study session stream. I didn't give the whole spiel. I was waiting till we're together since we always do it anyways.
It's cool.
That way they didn't have to hear it twice. But you can hear it now. PokerCoaching.com study session stream brought to you every Saturday, noon Eastern. Me and my main man, Crazy Six, is over here. Usually with guests, go over these quizzes on the site and try to get better together. Super interactive for any of you out there who have not been to this before. This is your chance to be a chat pro, is what we always say. So make sure you get in the chat. Let us know what you would do. We'll tell you what we would do. Then we'll see what the coach who made the video would do. And at the end, whichever chat won from a points perspective, the opposite guy will go do a giveaway. So if I win, Sixes comes over and does a giveaway, and if he wins, we go over there and give a giveaway. I mean, I think we've lost 2 weeks in a row, so you guys better be on your game. You're costing me money.
The Sixes Mafia is too good, man. It's too good. But yeah, man. So we want to introduce our man, the Lango. What's up, buddy? How you doing this morning?
Hey, good, great guys. Thanks for having me on. Very honored
Nah,
to
no
be
problem,
here.
man.
I'm looking forward to the review.
Nah, yeah, no problem, no problem. You want to give a little background, a little poker background, maybe what you're up to, anything you want to plug? Tell the chat real quick.
Sure. I mean, I don't really have anything to plug. My Twitter, I guess, at the Lango. You can follow me on Twitter. I've been around the poker industry for a long time as a player. I lived in Vegas for 6 years, and I've done coaching in the past. I currently write strategy articles for the Star School and make some strategy videos for them, mostly geared towards beginner and newer players or less experienced players. But yeah, I really enjoy the process of hand reviews. I enjoy the process of working through study sessions like this and with groups, and I'm really looking forward to today.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we look forward to having you. I know we were putting together some ideas for who we would love to have as guests, and I definitely was like, oh, I got to have the Lango on. You know, someone I've respected for a while, and I've checked out your stream, and I like your thought process with the game. I know you do some coaching as well, so it seems like a good fit for today's stream for sure.
Yeah, I was saying before, like we Sixes and I were coming up with who is going to join us and all that kind of stuff. I mean, your name came right up his mouth, one of the top of his list. So yeah, I'm super glad to have you, buddy.
I really appreciate it. I like your guys' streams too. I plug you guys all the time. Just love them. I like watching poker streams where the streamer talks through their thought processes and why they're doing certain things in hands rather than just kind of sits there and clicks buttons and doesn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the player isn't very skilled, just hearing them talk through their thought process, that's the kind of thing that engages me personally. And that's the kind of thing I love about both your streams. So great stuff.
I also find that it's a great way to fill space, especially when you're first starting as a poker streamer. If you're just talking about your hand, it fills that dead air. And then my stream just kind of evolved from that reason, basically. I'm just going to keep talking until people start replying.
Yeah, it's so easy, man. I love the game. I love poker. Like, I started off as a very stall streamer, just like both of you guys. And, you know, one thing that got me through is when you'd have like 1 viewer, 3 viewers, just talking about the situations, how you see things, and it helps build the time and help you get better as well, and helps you be accountable for every decision you're making, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, just last week, 2 streams ago, I played a hand and we were deep in a tournament, and then a stream viewer said, well, how about taking this line instead? And we talked about it on stream, and like, I actually like his line better. I think his line's better than what I did. So it's really nice, and that's kind of how we all learn, and grow together, which is cool.
You hear that? There's constructive ways to be a chat pro.
I was ready to say it.
Constructive ways.
Holy shit, man! Who is this guy? He needs to write a book on chat proing. If he can just say it in a constructive way and make it not sound like an ass in straight. So that's fun.
You know what's funny is he asked it like a question.
Yeah.
And I what would you think about maybe doing this line? And instead of saying you clown, that was terrible. Quit.
Like, what are you doing? You gotta 3-bet or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. It's so funny.
That is funny. That's super funny. Yeah, I was funny because, like, I always say this too, like, being a stream like ours where I talk my hands out, it's really scary to get on the internet and tell people what you think, because the internet's savage and they'll eat your ass alive if you're you're out there talking some bullshit. And so I almost never have chat pros, but I found that as this stream has blown up my stream incredibly, the being connected with pokercoaching.com and Jonathan Little and all these people, being connected with Sixes has blown up my stream incredibly. And now I'm starting to get chat pros. My last 2 streams in a row, I got chat pro'd, and I was so happy. I was like, finally, I'm important enough for someone to like try and tell me I'm wrong. I mean, they were totally wrong, but it was still nice to get chat pro'd.
Right.
It's like a rite of passage getting chat pro'd.
Yeah, well, they always say too, like, if you don't have a hater, a troll, and a stalker, you haven't made it yet. So, that comes with the business. All right, guys.
All right. You want to tell them what we're getting, what you get with pokercoaching.com, a few of the things. We don't have to go down the entire list, but oh man, there's so much to offer.
Oh, that's okay. I'm good at it. Exclamation point PC in my chat, exclamation point PC in Six's chat. You will get a link to sign up to pokercoaching.com for free. For that free link, you get 20 free quizzes, a bunch of homeworks, and big blind charts for 100 blinds or more. If you feel so inclined, you can sign up for the premium. I think there's a premium and a platinum membership, and with that, you have almost 900 quizzes now. We're up to 875, a ton of homeworks. There's multiple webinars a week. Matt Affleck does one every Wednesday. Jonathan does a few a week. And there's amazing coaches. Me, Sixes. I had to name us first. Jonathan Little, Lexi, Gavin. I'm not going to be able to get them all. Faraj Jaka, who has 2 new quizzes we're going to do today for sure, because that's Six's favorite. Who else? Sassy Nato, Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, the work.
Tristan Wade, Acevedo.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, a lot of crushers and
also opportunities for staking.
Yes, there it is. He didn't forget the staking opportunities.
I heard your voice and it reminded me. For staking opportunities, when you take these quizzes, they look at them and there's a chance for you to win free staking from Jonathan Little, and he'll put you into a live tournament. But you have to show to be competent enough. And so this is the way they check it out, which is also a super cool opportunity. And I believe the last guy they staked before all this craziness went down made like a day 3. It was something in London, I believe.
Yeah, he cashed and went super deep. And, that was a pretty cool experience for him, getting an opportunity to play something you would never play and then making a run at it and getting the experience from it. It's just sick. I mean, all you have to do, you get 25 free quizzes just for signing up free. And, if you want to sign up for free and then just do them along with us, that's a cool way to do it as well, and then talk about some of the spots. So... But yeah, you want to get at it, Toad? You ready to get started?
Yeah, while we're doing this, I'm trying to wonder why my Nightbot just isn't working.
Yeah, mine didn't either when I added the guest command. I just had to put it in there. Yeah, something's going on with Nightbot because I have the command in mine. It
messed me up last night too. I was trying to do a giveaway and it didn't work. So it's something with Nightbot. Cool. That makes me not feel crazy. Yeah, let's pick some quizzes. You want me to pick the first one? You want to pick the first one? How do you want to do this?
I mean, we know. Okay, you can pick the first one, so we don't have to do what we know we're gonna do here.
I mean, we can start with Faraz if you want, but I really think we gotta try and find a decent Assassinato because every blank as I scroll down is his, and so we gotta get some of those.
And it's nice as well. He's doing ACR tournaments. Like I would say, 60% of us out here viewing right now, maybe more, are playing like some of these tournaments on ACR.
Yeah, he's actually playing 11s and 1650s and 22s and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, if he can discuss some population tendencies, some, the way he views the games, today's games, the environment, getting, some of that out there would be good to check out as well.
Absolutely. All right. I'll pick one.
Do it. Yep.
837. We'll start with
837. Oh, I got it. Wait a minute. Show all. No, I got to show all, not 25.
Oh, yeah. You might have done that one, which is why it skipped.
No, I have not done that one.
Sweet. Let's give Matt some love.
All right, let's do it.
So the standard here is just to call.
I got it. Wait a minute. I'm gonna pull up my mixer.
You can re-raise this hand to 1100 every once.
Make sure
in a
it's
while.
loud.
I would do every time, but it's definitely a viable.
Okay.
3-bet against the end of the gun open. But in general, we're not going to 3-bet very much in these positions, so perfectly fine to just call, which we do. Ace-7 deuce rainbow. We're always checking, never leading here. We're at a huge equity disadvantage. Big blind bets 225. This is a good regular. Should we fold, call, raise to 750, or raise to 1,000?
All right, guys. Hey, Poker Chef Jeff, what's up, buddy? Thanks for the good luck. I'm not sure if I'm playing today. I got to talk to Mrs. Toe about that. What would be the max players tourneys you guys would play? I mean, how many runners? I mean, I don't really even pay attention to that. I played the Big 50, which was the biggest tournament in history, right? It's like 7,000, 8,000 players live.
Yeah.
If you're playing on ACR, 4,000 or 5,000 is pretty average right now for the lower buy-in ones. Do you ever pay attention to say this has got a shitload of runners, so I'm gonna play it or I'm not gonna play it? Do you ever pay attention to that, Sixes?
No. If I think I'm winning against the field and it's a good value tournament, I'm just gonna play it.
Yeah, and I think I'm just kind of a narcissist as fuck, so I just look at buy-in and guarantee, and I'm like, oh, this is a good guarantee, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that has.
I can't be that far bad. It can't be that bad off from
from a game.
I'm just trying to play the best value tournaments in my bankroll.
So you have a good point in saying that. In all seriousness, that is something I really do like. There are lots of tournaments that get a lot of players that I stay away from because I think they're shitty buys, because the guarantee isn't where it should be, or runs too late or whatever that life EV or poker EV might be. There's lots of tournaments or not lots, but there's a couple of tournaments at 2750 on ACR that register like 4 or 5 my time. My final table a few weeks ago was 3 in the morning. I'm like, all right, this tournament's off my schedule because I'd rather sleep than be up till 4 in the morning.
Right.
I
accidentally misclicked muted Dave.
You Dave muted?
I accidentally muted him in Skype. I clicked something and muted him, so he has to unmute, or if you can unmute him.
I don't know I don't think you can unmute. I think they have to unmute themselves.
Oh, Dave, unmute yourself.
Did you fucking kill our guest sixes?
Yeah, there it is. I misclicked. I clicked something over. But yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Hey,
there you go.
I have a little bit of a problem.
Huh.
I can't hear the streams for some reason when I'm on the Skype call, and I can't look at the quiz directly because the guest login you gave me, it's locked. It's for subscribers only.
I'll hook you up. Hang on.
Yeah, give him we got another one. Okay, cool.
No problem. Basic thing is we got into a pot here.
We called under the gun. Yeah,
Yeah.
he said it would be viable to 3-bet.
Yep.
And do we ever want to use this as a check raise? Are you guys calling, or is anyone just giving up? What are we doing here, chat? We'll let the Lango we'll let Dave get logged back in and catch up, but we're good.
Just gonna find a post here.
Yep. Come on, chat pros. Anyone check raising? Under the gun C-bet on an ace high board with mid pair and back doors.
I got no game. New York says he would fold. And then a couple of calls streaming in right now.
There it is. Okay. I can barely hear anyone but crazy. Oh, let me see. Here, I just turned it way up. I just turned their Skypes way up. No check raise for me. They're more likely to have an ace. Everyone's calling. Yeah, he did go third pot here. D-Benny. I just turned up everyone's. I just turned up Skype, guys. So hopefully you can hear them better. Sorry about that. I think you can consider a re-raise, but 1100. Yeah, I don't think we would want to use a small size when we're this deep effective.
Yeah, we're not really raising because of the size of his bet. Since it's so small, we're kind of raising in relation to the pot. And we're 100 bigs deep, which is why that's so big, right?
Yeah.
And Lango, you see the login information in the chat?
Yeah, I got it. I'm getting logged in now.
Cool, no worries.
Sweet. It's quiz 837.
Okay.
Deuteron says flat, no need to blow the pot, deep stacked, out of position with a marginal hand, under the gun is ace-x heavy. Then I see Bama would fold, got no game would fold, Stinky's calling, Cyrus calling, Beat says he's raising to 1.1 because he's a savage. Speaking of savage, Mrs. Ginger is calling. Check raise, we have nut advantage. I am check raising. We do not have nut advantage though. Gio, this guy raised under the gun. We called from the big blind. So, good red under the gun has way more aces than we do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think I would just be calling here a lot. When we're check raising, we're just repping ace-7, ace-deuce, sevens, deuces. I mean, he can still have all the aces, all the same hands, and then ace-king, ace-queen, just stronger ace-x combos. Sure, we can just check raise, and he always sees bets a hand like king, queen, king, jack, queen, 10, and all those combos. He would open there. He's always just going to see bet. So, but we can turn equity where we can sometimes call as well. So we can turn, yeah.
I mean, there's just no way we can fold, right? We have to just call because we're getting a good price to call, and if we pick up a diamond, 7 or 6, we might be able to stack this fool, or at least blow the pot up and get a nice big fat one. I don't think there's any option but to call, in my opinion.
Yeah, Wayne Brain says he's just calling. Is their sound a little bit better, guys? Chat, hopefully their sound's better. Let me know.
He said there's not more aces in the under the gun range. We have more aces because we flat with all the shitty ones. He's right, but the good record gun has the best aces, right? Ace king, ace queen, ace jack, aces, pair of aces.
Cool.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I would just be calling here.
I like calling as well. Plus, when we call on such a dry board, it really freezes the opponent if they don't have that big ace. So, I mean, I think it's fine just to call here.
Right. Although I think, some good players under the gun are going to use hands like King, Queen is just mandatory double barrels trying to get us to fold 7x and deuce X. But nonetheless, we can always pick up enough equity to just call with the diamond. Obviously, 6 and 7 are going to be good a lot. So, yeah, I think. And they might
funny
freeze
thing
up
too is,
as well.
me, 6 is like, I'm not folding to double barrels.
I mean, not here.
Time. If it's a wet board, then fine. But on this board, I'm probably going to call. I'll tell you now, a little spoiler, that I'm probably going to call the turn if it's a decent bet for that very reason, And then evaluate.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially if we can pick up cards that are pretty good for us.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Diamond,
yeah.
For sure.
All right, so we're all calling?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So the standard here is just a call. I would never fold. You can re-raise this hand to 1100 every once in a while. It's not something I would do every time, but it's definitely a viable hand to 3-bet against the under the gun open. But in general, we're not going to 3-bet very much in these positions, so perfectly fine to just call, which we do. Ace 7 deuce rainbow. We're always checking, never lead in here. We're at a huge equity disadvantage. Big blind bets 225. This is a good regular. Should we fold, call, raise to 750, or raise to 1000?
Well, let me get to the volume here. Hang on. All right.
Did I admit? What is going on? Is your quiz glitched?
Yes.
Okay, I
was typing in the chat and didn't even realize you said that. We're in the Matrix.
I mean, let's just click something and then move on, because this is it's glitched.
Well, call was 10 points, so maybe we call again.
Maybe we can just double up.
Yeah, we just call, let's just hit call and move on because this is obviously glitched.
Yeah, give me a second. Let me just let them know real quick.
Yeah, we can send a ticket in or something because. Yeah, this is the first time of all the quizzes I've done here. I've seen this.
Yeah.
Raise to 1,000. The hell with it. Would be funny. I should just raise. Maybe he said what the card was and I didn't hear him. Did anybody hear what he said the turn card was? I didn't.
I didn't either. All right, let them know.
Cool.
So we're just clicking randomly and hoping that we get to see what happens on the river?
I mean, yeah, this one doesn't. This quiz can't count right now. I mean, it doesn't matter for us, or we'll just make the best decision given what we get on the river because we have nothing here. So I'm just gonna hit call and see what happens.
So, but I'm leveling. I'm leveling with the quiz right now because the buttons did change, right?
The buttons changed, yeah.
So I'm trying to do the math of what would be in the pot and then think about what I would do. It's a fact.
Here, I'm sorry, yeah.
All right, I think I'm calling. Let's call. All right, let's do it.
I did call. I went. I already pressed it.
All right, I'm with you.
I feel like
Let's do it.
everyone here always check calls.
All right, we're gonna listen to him,
And
boys.
there's a lot of merit here for a check raise with the 7-6 of diamonds. There's a lot of good properties that happen. So a good regular is going to range bet this flop. So you want to do this against a player that c-bets, 80+% on this board, which I feel like most people do. Problem is they get away with it because people under check raise on this board. The under the gun player still has all his jack 10 suited, queen jacks, king jacks, pocket 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks. The only two pairs he has is ace 7 suited and ace deuce suited. Maybe he doesn't raise the ace deuce suited. He probably shouldn't have pocket deuces pre-flop, so we can have pocket 7s. We can have all the ace 7 suited, ace deuce suited, pocket deuces, pocket 7s, ace queen, ace jack, maybe ace king off. So we have plenty of really strong hands. So we definitely want to 3-bet or check raise, and we need some bluffs. And our best, I wouldn't call this hand a check raise bluff, but the reason I like check raising this hand is one, we get him to fold a lot of overcards. So it's really good for us when we check raise and he just folds jack 10 suited, queen jack suited, king queen off. king jack. All those hands, that's a win for us. We fold him. He doesn't get to realize his 6 out to equity. That's really good for us. You could also call us with like a hand like pocket 6s and pocket deuce or pocket 5s possibly, although that might not be the case. The other reason I like check raising, let's compare 2 hands here. If we have king 7 here, I just like to check call because I want a king to come on the turn and him to make a pair of kings with hands like king, queen, king, jack, king, 10s, all hands that I'm targeting to fold when I check raise the 7-6. When a 6 comes off, he doesn't make any 2-pair combos other than with ace-6 suited. He doesn't have any, he probably won't have, he may have 7-6 suited, that'd be the only thing. So the 6 is going to be a better card for our range once we check call, and our opponent is going to be a little hesitant to put a lot of money in on the 6 versus on the king. He's going to start putting a lot of money in because it's a better card for his range. So these hands like 7-5 suited, 7-4 suited, 7-6 suited, the deuce 3, the deuce 4, the deuce 5, the backdoor straight draws. The ones with the backdoor flush draws are much better check raises a lot of times than check call because they deny equity, you win the pot, and they work. You know, it's hard to have bluffs later on in this hand, and these work once you check raise. They give you good hands to barrel off with. We make it 750. We don't need to raise much more because we're trying to get him just to fold his, over cards, etc. So 750 is the same as 1,000 for what we're trying to accomplish. Our opponent calls. Turn us to 3 spades. Should we check, bet 700, bet 1,400, or bet 2,100?
All right. I'm so sorry about the sound issues, guys. Sometimes you guys hear me now?
Yeah. I thought mine was pretty good,
like,
my sound.
Yeah, my sound, I don't know, like, generally Matt's sound is good, but for me, I was having issues and I was messing with it, so I apologize. Chat, can you guys... So, the issue was, they just redid the flop twice with 2 different things, right? Is that what happened? Or was the flop out there to start the hand? I'm just confused on what happened.
I don't know what happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah. All right.
But I know that we took a shot in the dark on a call and got 8 points, and I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, literally. It was just so weird.
That's how I make all my money in poker, folks.
Just random ass plays. I was just trying to figure out what the hell just happened with
I
that.
missed the explanation in the first video because I was talking with people in the chat. So I'm not the best person to ask.
But yeah, he's saying it was practical. A good combo we can use is a check raise, especially when...
So it looks like we check raised the flop and got called.
Yep, and he's just decide what
do we continue on the turn? You had 2 different flop scenarios.
Yep. Okay, maybe that's what it was. All right, what do you guys think here? After we check raise flop, we get called by under the gun, and it's a good reg. Do we fire turn? And if so, what size? Or do we just check and essentially just try to get the showdown? What is up, chat? What are you doing here, Dave? What do you like?
Well, since we check raised, I'm going to go ahead and bet the turn. I mean, I like 1,400 or really big, like 2,100. I think betting small doesn't accomplish a whole lot for us because we really don't want him floating us with stuff that has equity.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I'm skilled enough for this, but I'm guessing continue. After we check raise, we have to fire a big bet. Yeah, I mean, is the same range, like if we go 1,400, is that range going to fold for 2,100, or do we just need to go 2,100 just to really condense his range? I don't know. I would feel like 1,400 would suffice, but maybe going 2,100 might condense him to the point where we do start folding out even some weak aces, but I doubt it, right?
Yeah, Keo says bet 2,100. The equity just shifted to us. Bet 1,400. 3 is a great for our range. Lots of 2 pairs and draws. 1,400. Walk the dog, says Marlin. And then a bunch of 1,400s. Yeah, the thing about this is when we check raise this, we got to think about what's continuing, right? So what's continuing is obviously ace-x, which is likely never folding on the turn bet. And then everything else is 8s plus, right? 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks, queens, and kings. And those will fold to a turn bet. I don't know that we need to go 2,100 to get those to fold. We can do 14, and I think 700 is just too small. So I think I land on 1400.
Yeah, and I would say we go 1400 with plans on bluffing a 5, a 6, betting a 6 and a 7 for value. A 4 is going to be pretty good for us. So any real low card that we can have that would make we have way more straights and 2 pairs and sets. I would say, and some of the good runouts like a 4, a 3, another 3 or something. We just not another 3, another deuce or something. We just bluff, right?
Yeah.
Just over bet.
Yeah.
So Wayne Brain says probably 1400 for me. Yeah, I
mostly
think,
1400s in my chat, and then a handful of checks, and then a few people saying I would have been folding on the flop or the pre-flop, and so I wouldn't be here.
Oh, nobody's folding pre-flop. Stop it.
No. So I got people in the chat folding pre-flop. Don't judge.
Yeah, it's not judging. It's just too good to fold when we already a little bit invested.
Agreed.
100 bigs deep, we have to call this. Come on. When you say good reg, though, I'm sorry. I'm checking if I raise the flop. If I call the flop, I'm leading turn.
I think one thing I think about this spot when we're leading the turn, like you're talking about, like GodsBigToe was talking about, the guy's not going to really fold an ace to the turn barrel. I think we're going to have to empty the clip if we're going to try and get an ace to fold. And considering that this is a good rag and he has a lot of blinds behind and it's early in the tournament, I think he may get off of 1 pair because we really are repping a set with this line.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, like
2
6
pair.
fires more triples than I do. Like when I get this better, I'm almost never tripling because I'm like, oh shit, like he's got more ace X when he calls the turn.
Dude, there's no way the dude's folding ace king to the check raise and turn barrel. But if we say put him all in on the river, you know, he's still got a lot of stack utility. It's early in the tournament.
Is this an
$11? It's a real hero with ace king, I think, for his whole tournament life this early.
I agree. So is this like the main event, or is this like an $11 online or $1,000 live? Because it's one of those lower buy-in live or onlines, and those guys just don't fold top pair.
Yeah,
but if we're playing something where people are competent, then sure, absolutely.
Well, I just think we must think in context of like what comes on the river, what portion of the range. Like if it's a 10 plus, I don't think we get to triple. Okay, like I don't. I think an 8 is kind of close, but any low card is just getting bombed like every time. Like it's just really good for us, and he's just gonna have a lot of like 1 pair hands, ace king, ace queen, and those are put in a horrible spot, just in a horrible position. Ace jack, ace 10, just terrible spots. And obviously we lose at the time he has sets, but I think so often he has like ace king, ace queen, ace jack, ace 10, something like that, that never folded to the flop turn. But on rivers, any low card just has to get just bombed. If we're taking this line.
Yeah, Jugs is kind of repeating a lot of what I'm saying in there too. And then McBuffin says, check and shoot for showdown, keep it low. I think he has ace 5. He called with the raise with the ace on the board. So a couple problems with that is one, like we can't just put him on one hand, right? We got to give him a range of hands. And I think he's got some ace 5, but he raised him with the gun, so it's the combination of ace 5 suited only. And then he's got a lot of like ace 10 plus suited and not. And then pocket pairs is basically where we're at here. So just kind of you need a broader range than that. And the problem I see is checking and shoot for showdown is if we check here and he goes 2/3 pot on the river, are you calling? Like, are you calling if it's a 10 plus? Are you calling if it's under a 10? Like there are lots of scenarios when we check, raise, and then check here that we don't actually get our showdown because they're going to be able to put us in a spot where we might not be able to call.
Yep. Yep, 1400 it is. Let's do it.
Cool.
You know, I have to say this about the spot. So when, like, I completely agree when we bet this turn 1400 or whatever, we're going to fold out probably the kings and the queens, and his continuing range to the river is very heavy in, you know, top pair. I think we still have to empty the clip though. Let's say the river's a jack. I mean, if we had a set of 2s, would we slow down on the jack river? No. So hopefully he doesn't have ace jack. But now I'm finding, when I do stuff like this in game, I find myself thinking I have to empty the clip and trust that he's going to fold ace king. And that's a big part of it.
That's a lot of ifs.
That's a lot of ifs.
I mean, to be honest, when I play this hand, I
this is where I'm like slapping my forehead going, how did I get here?
Right,
Exactly.
right. That's what I was saying. I was actually
That's why
going
I
right down
always
that
use
path.
the
I'm kind
best
of like the same thing where I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with all that shit, so I check call flop, check call turn, evaluate river, and pot's nice and small and easy. But now that we're here, we got ourselves in this mess. We got to try and you got to kind of at least swing your way out on the turn, I believe, and then figure out river. Let's find out. Let's click it.
All right, let's do it. 14.
This is a great card for
All
our
right.
range. We're going to have hands like deuce 3 suited, 5-4 suited. We still have ace 7 suited, ace deuce suited, pocket deuces, pocket sevens, and the 3 is pretty much never improves our opponent hand. That's the key part. He doesn't make any 2 pairs. He doesn't turn any sets really with this pocket 3. So this is a card that we can be pretty polar on with our strong hands and our bluffs, and this is one of our better bluffs. I think we block him from having ace 7 suited in pocket sevens, which are both in the under the gun range, so it's nice to have a 7 in our hand. I like barreling again, and I like the large sizing. I want to be pretty polar here. I like 2100. You can bet 1400 too, but the nice thing with 2100 is we can set up a river shove. Our opponent's going to have a lot of aces in his range from the flop, but he also has pocket 8 suited kings we get him to fold. Maybe he has king queen of clubs and diamonds we get to fold. We can get him to fold maybe a hand like 8-7 or 9-7 suited. Those types of hands might fold. He might even start folding some aces. Ace 8 might fold, ace 6 suited might fold. So definitely think I like barreling here. I like the large size if we're going to do it. Checking is fine too if you want to give up against a really sticky opponent, but go with that full pot bet. I like it. Our opponent calls. Now the river is the queen of hearts. Should we check, bet 2500, or go all in?
All right, Mr. Spazzy Lango, what you think?
Yeah. Horrible spot.
Yeah, that's a really bad card. Guys, what do you think out there? I think everyone's probably...
I think what I said. How did I get here? How did this happen?
Just going with it, right?
How many bullets do I have for this fucking thing?
Yeah. What is the buy-in? And I think, he makes a very good point. I do think it is a spot we want to be polar in. I find that I miss being polar in these kind of spots, and I'm polar in more dynamic situations where turn cards maybe impact ranges a little bit more. But yeah, I think it's a good bet. If we're going to go 1400, why not go 21? And then we would be easier jams on river, right? If we actually want to just bluff. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and also I was explaining that in my chat. Like, because we're so deep, your small bet is generally going to be 40% to 60%, and I'm sorry, 50%, half pot to 60%, and your big bets are usually going to be 2/3 pot to pot and a half, things like that. Specifically when you're 100 bigs deep plus to start the hand. So I think that's why he sized up so big, right? For that
I like it. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. So what are we doing here, boys?
Give him check.
BQ is checking. Don't be quiet, chat pros. What are we doing here? What's good? We check in. Who's emptying? Lango's emptying the clip. He said if it was going to be a jack, the queen doesn't
right there
change.
with him.
Just doing it, Gap. All right.
Those all these global poker players in here, they're firing it. Who else?
the global family in here just firing it off.
Show,
Let's
he's
go.
an ACR player. He check folds, checks, all liquid pokers. Ginger checks.
I mean, after we
should
double
be
barrel, we need to
shoving.
fire that river,
I think I would
right?
check and give up at this point. Don't think he's going away.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if we're checking, we're just giving up because we never win. So,
Never.
I mean, I feel like we have to empty the clip, but again, it depends on can this guy fold ace king? If we think, if it's a $10 online tournament, like GodsBigToe said, I'm just giving up the hand. He wins. He's not going to fold ace king.
No, but this is a good reg according to Jaka, right? So it's kind of driving me toward jamming here because of that and because of him.
Yeah, versus good rag. I like just emptying the clip and, I mean, fuck it, YOLO.
Damn. Yeah. Oh, they're going YOLO, boys. I still have 70 bigs in this tournament.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm
getting later.
I'm beast with 70 bigs.
But I also think that might be a mistake in my game. Like I said,
Not
I
on this
missed some
card.
of these
I'm gonna
spots
go
a
with
bit.
what I said regarding runouts, and I don't know if this is.
I miss some of these spots, and sometimes even on shorter stacks, we're like, well, I got 30 bigs behind. I could jam here, but fuck it, I got 30 bigs. I'm gonna win this tournament still. You know what I mean? So that's
Yeah,
definitely
this
not
is
a good.
different. I mean, I would certainly jam some river cards. I don't know why. I know what Matt's saying, but it sounded like a lot of that range he wanted to fold out on the turn when we polarized did not fold out, and then it's another damn high card. Like, I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
done.
So now he's super big ace heavy, right? So of course
Yeah.
ace queen's not folding, but ace jack is in a really bad spot. Ace ten's in a really bad spot. Ace king, if he's a good reg, may fold, and that's a lot of what he is at, right?
Early in the tournament with 70, but you know how easy it is to make this shit back. There's just no way I'm risking it. Risking the biscuit after we polarize on the turn and he calls in a queen. That's at least what I think. I mean, I love the heart of shoving, and I don't think it's a mistake. But I would just view my tournament life as, oh, we're just fine. You know, it's no big deal.
I would suggest this though, and I agree with that sentiment, but I think then we shouldn't be taking this line from the start. I think the check call is far superior. Because now
I think. Go ahead.
You know, we're repping ace-7, ace-2, set of 7, set of 2s really with this line,
True.
Which we would probably go all in with. And the fact that he's a good reg, I mean, we're legitimately talking about the value of our tournament life here with 69 bigs. He's a good reg with 69 bigs, facing what looks like a set of 2s for his entire tournament.
So a good reg can fold ace king, right?
A good reg can fold ace king and say, I have 69 bigs, I can work this back, just like we're saying.
That's a very good point.
Some online drooler is just going to click call and own it.
This is why I brought him in, boys. The voice of reason. I like that. I mean, I think it's very good points because if I'm in the under the gun spot, I mean, you're probably an unknown. I'm probably never folding ace king, but you know, if I viewed somebody as a nit or like I had a perception that they're only gonna fire like this with 2 pair plus and better, like I might fold. You know what I mean? For sure. If I thought a guy was a nit or something and did this, so yeah, that's a good point. Did he sway me to shoving? Jeez.
I think I'm gonna check him up, but like I am a believer in shoving. Well, I mean, I guess again, like maybe I'm not. I'm a believer in shoving, so I might click all in here. But like for me, in game, kind of what Lango would say is like I'm the check call guy because I don't want to be in the spot.
Sixes drove all the way to the casino, got there early to get into the
Yeah, he's gonna bust out 100 bigs.
I don't care.
Dude.
I play cash games. I'm gonna play cash games if I
True, I play a lot of cash
If
too.
this was a Assassinado quiz,
I-
he'd ask like where the location is because if it's
Where's
like
the
a
cage?
tropical location, you know what I mean? Like the Bahamas, they're like, oh, if this guy busts now, he can go play on the beach. But if you're in like Indiana, this guy doesn't want to bust. There ain't shit to do in Indiana. You know, he wants to save his tournament life at all costs. So he says some of that stuff. I think it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I've done this. I've definitely played live and went and played a tournament and fucking took a line like this and had to insta rebuy, right? Like we've all done this, so shit, man.
And I busted in 3 hands at the Orleans, right? Live tournament.
Yeah, I've done shit like this for sure, dude.
That's my quickest live tournament, guys. 3 hands.
All right, I'm going to Lango. If you click check, I'll go with Lango just to.
Guys, did you see what he just did? He tried to steal this quiz from us.
All right, go ahead. I'll check. I'm checking. I'm very
He just tried to level me
into
into clicking check so he could steal this quiz from us, Army.
All right, I'll check. I'm checking. I'll go with what I initially. I don't want to go back. Though I think he's right.
God, I think he's so ace heavy, and I'm so used to playing in stakes where these fucks don't fold, but the jam makes so much sense.
I
Now I don't know what to do. I think he may have reverse psychology us, guys. He knows me really well. He knows how to push my buttons.
I already clicked go all in over here, so there's no more suspense for me.
I talk to him every day. He knows.
Ooh, there's a read. There's a read in that his tonality there. All right, I'm checking. All right, you ready?
Fuck you, Lango. All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
I really think this is one of our better bluffs.
Yes!
Damn it!
7-5 suited is slightly
Yes!
just in case our opponent gets the 5-4 suited, but that's such a rare case. But having a 7 here, blocking a7 and pocket 7s, is really good. We have cards that we would have in our value range. Our value range here would be like pocket sevens, pocket deuces, ace seven suited. If we had the ace queen, I would play it this way. The 5-4 suited got there on the turn, so we could be bluffing the 5-4 suited. And so I really like going for it here. And our opponent should really start folding. Like the under the gun player can have pocket sevens, ace seven. He improves to ace queen. You know, maybe he calls with some ace jack, some ace tens. But I think players are going to overfold to the shove here because they don't see many players check raise, you know, barrel it off here. And the queen's a pretty good card for his range, so we can be pretty selective here with our bluffs and value bets. But I think the 7-6 suited is just such a good card to make sure. Also, we don't have a spade in our hand. 3 of spades on the turn. Our opponent could have a hand like 7-8 of spades, which we get to fold. He could have king jack of spades, king queen of spades, queen jack of spades, possibly that floated the flop. Those hands all fold. So not having a spade is also very helpful too. We rip it in here, and we get a fold. You know, it could be from pocket kings. Maybe we get a tight fold from ace 10. But yeah, I think finding these check raises and making your, you know, playing aggressive from the big blind is a good situation here. And finding check raises. People don't check raise wide enough.
I'll play, boys. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, props to Lango because I would have checked that 1,000%, and he got my ear, and it made great sense.
It did. I mean, it's very good since we've already taken this path to rep these hands. Under the gun still has one pair hands that he's just never folding. And then when we take that unorthodox line that deep, people just, like he said, are overfolding. Very well played. He didn't show. He folded to the River Jam beat.
Hold'em He's Nuts said so much for tonality sixes or
I know.
tonality. And the funny thing was, I thought Lango sounded so calm. That's why I tried to talk myself into. That's why I clicked it. He sounded so calm.
I just went with. I was like, I'm going with my initial decision. I can't just. I don't know.
That was a good quiz. There was a lot of great information in that quiz, and he gave us
there was a lot.
Multiple scenarios. That was great. Shout out to Lango, man. He nailed that one.
Drop on him in. Let's go. The ringer, boys. All right, my turn.
Just to be clear, though, the Lango never would have gotten to the river in this way. So
no, but I mean, if you have a seizure one time, like you know the right way to do it. Like again, like I wouldn't get to hear this way either, but yeah, the logic was there, and Jaka, I mean, really was an echo chamber. It's great.
Very well played, boys.
Yeah.
Good job. That was a good one to start. Woo. No, Ace King with 22 bigs. How is this not going to be as just?
I kept calling him Jaka. That was Matt. Sorry, I thought we did the Jaka quiz first. My bad. Sorry, Matt.
You might take that as a compliment. I don't know. All right.
It wasn't a diss.
You want to do 874? I either want to do 874 or 7s. I think I wasn't watching all of them, but I seen JL Jonathan doing some Jaka quizzes on a little coffee a couple days ago. I didn't see which ones he did, so I'm kind of interested to follow.
Yeah, I know that he did it, but I didn't see it either because that's at 6 a.m. for me. So
right.
A lot of it.
All right, let's do this. Million South America 10K main with Ace King.
Right,
ready?
I'm there and ready.
Let's go.
So this hand is from the Party Poker Million South America 10K main event buy-in. This was actually a hand that a friend of mine played and reached out to me to kind of do some review about it. So we are here in the cutoff with 22 big blinds, Ace King offsuit, and in the big blind there is a player who is a very GTO oriented player, uses a lot of solvers, does a lot of studying, and small blind and big blind are unknowns, but this is a 10K buy-in, a tough event, so in general a lot of good players. So our options here are going to be to go all in, to limp, to raise to 2.4 big blinds, or to min raise to 2 big blinds.
All right, guys.
All right. Oops. What are we doing here? This is pretty cool. I mean, this would be a fun spot to play. 22 bigs deep-ish in a 10K. We got a GTO player. So how do we attack the GTO player? We're most likely to play a pot against him. No information on the 39 and 40 big stacks behind. What do you guys like here? Peanuts min raising 2.4 Ks out there, 2 BBs, 0 shoves, 0 limps. I think limping might be viable, but what is your chat saying? JWK is going 2.4.
Jones and Ginger are jamming.
Just jamming?
Just open jamming. 2.4 mixed up. Sometimes rip, sometimes min race is kept. 2.4 all in, limp shove, raise 2. I like 2 or 2.4, min 2, 2.42. Sounds like a lot of 2.4s, and now 2s are starting to stream in a little bit.
Yeah, I see Mike Cash is just jamming. 2.4s and 2 BBs, pretty split between this.
For me, on 22 bigs, I am min raising. If we were deeper, I would go 2.4, but here on 22 bigs, yeah, I'm definitely min raising, 100%.
Do you think you let a solver player who's very good and competent just play perfectly by calling their entire range?
I mean, I have position.
I mean, that's okay. We have
and
position ace king.
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate because you know what I'm doing here. Same exact thing. Yeah.
Ginger said she's jamming because she's not as comfortable post flop. I actually think there's some decent logic there. But you're kind of, at the other side of that coin, Ginger, is you want to get value for your ace king, and if you have 22 bigs and end up getting down to like 18 or something and having to give up, it's not the end of the world, right? It doesn't change your game strategy too much. So with 22, I think it might be a little too much to pull that move. If you had something like, I don't know, somewhere between 15 and 18 and you wanted to do that, it makes a little more sense, I think.
Still opening, but yeah.
Yeah, but if you're less comfortable post-flop, especially on an awkward stack, maybe it's better to jam and just get full equity for it versus, take the cards or take the pot. Versus going from like 16 to 14, and then if you're not as competent post-flop, particularly with a short stack, you could put yourself in some bad spots. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, JWK, good friend of ours as well, saying he wants to go 2.4K because if they're playing more GTO, they're going to bluff shove more, and he wants to induce. So he would be actually inducing by going larger, he believes, by going 2.4x.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Here's my thoughts. I like the min raise as well, but I'm looking at the quiz and wondering what the difference is that he's put in 2 versus 2.4. And I think, to me, the difference is the GTO solver player knows his ranges hands down for a min raise in these spots.
Sure.
That's
he knows
right,
it.
yeah.
He knows it like a printing press in his brain. So 2.4 alters those ranges some in a way that he may not be as well prepared for.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. If we can attack, knowing he's a solver player, we do things to incorporate, like make him more uncomfortable, introduce different sizings, so, they're not as used to being in that node, right?
Yeah, and like JL always talks about going 2.1, 2.2 here because when you min raise, they play perfectly against you. They don't make mistakes.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of thinking 2.4 in this exact situation. So we're not just playing, we can deviate a little bit because our exploit might be better, in this spot. So I think I would go 2.4 here.
Beat says he had 40 plus blinds. He would go 2.4. With 22, he goes min. I think Beats, he should be going min raise mostly on 40 blinds as well. And kind of push that up to 60 blinds plus to go 2.4. I can't go 2. You don't want the blinds to outflop me with rags. I think there's PTSD there. You have position. You have a top 10 hand. Like, this is a good spot for you to try and get paid. Don't want to call. Yeah, we're definitely not limping.
All right. I know what I'm doing. I'm going 2.4.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I lost the last quiz, so, I'm down.
Amazing.
What the hell
That's
we
what
got
I
to
would do.
lose? Yeah, I get it, and I think calling could be viable. I see that as something very interesting, but I would like the GTO player to maybe be on the button to maybe limp because I think he might ISO more.
Just to jam all day, twice on Sundays for 22 blinds? You're just
Stop.
piling it in there, Marlon? Really?
Stop it.
Yeah, you're losing value, buddy.
Hey,
All right.
Sixes, can you talk a little bit about why calling might be viable? Because calling isn't something I considered, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts about that.
Generally, I think we have a stack that some players can still ISO and fold, kind of raise a little bit wider, and then we keep in some worse hands. Our hands pretty well disguised as well. So I do think we can limp. If we have a limping strategy, a balanced one, I think we would limp Ace King sometimes. But I got to study a limping strategy. I was just looking at it a little bit yesterday, but I think we can have some limps here in the cutoff specifically here. But I think we want the button or small blind to be able to jam, or the button to be able to ISO a little bit, or want more these players to be a little bit more aggressive, in my opinion, to limp.
It's interesting. So I assume you're going to limp jam if you get ISO raised.
Correct.
Yeah, I like that.
And then we have some hands where we can balance that and just limp call. We can have some limp fold as well. It gives us a lot more playability with our stack. Makes us a little harder to play against. So yeah, I'm trying to work on that strategy and studying it, but it just feels like in the games that we play in, raising is just so profitable because we get overfolds, people play poorly post-flop, but we get in situations in games with players behind where it's completely viable to have some limp strategies.
I know
and
that the
having that
person that
as
coaches you, that I'm going to kind of remain nameless because they're not affiliated with the site, has a 20% limp strategy here. And he gets a random number generator up, and he gets it online. He picks it, 1 to 10, and if it's in the 20 percentile, he limps. I know it.
Yeah, and I had a study
Heard him
session
explain it,
yesterday.
Watch chat roast him, and this guy's got a bracelet, a Poker Masters win, handful of World Series final tables, a couple WPTs. The guy's a killer.
Yeah, and I had a coaching session with yesterday for a couple hours. So yeah, I think limping could be interesting.
20%
So,
limp.
but yeah, I could see limping here and be very cool. But yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna still just raise here 2.4, and if he calls, I'm gonna be very happy.
All right, I'll give you a point on this one. I'm gonna go min raise because that's what I would do and see how it goes.
Let's do it.
So here, I think the best option is just going to be a straightforward min raise. Second option you could go with is the 2.4 big blind raise. Usually from late position, it is good to raise a little bigger because you want to give the big blind worse odds, who's going to be calling a lot of hands versus your late position raise. That said, when we're this shallow, I prefer to still just stay with the min raise, and that's because we don't want to give our opponent a better price to jam. The majority of the time we're opening here, we're not going to be able to call the jam. So, we want to be able to see the flop and, not have hands like ace-5 off where, we raise 2.4x, get jammed on, from king queen, and now we have to fold. So definitely min raise is going to be the best play here. 2.4, you could argue it's not as good, but I'm still okay with it. Limping would be the third option. That's okay, but I'm not in love with it. I do want to have a limping range here, but I heavily would prefer suited hands if I'm going to limp here, and that's because when you limp, you're more likely to have a 3-way, 4-way pot, and it's going to be hard to get to the river and realize your equity. So with the suited hands, you're going to have more possibilities to get to that river. Whereas with the offsuit combos, you'd rather kind of raise it up or jam it when you're shorter, and get to lower the SPR so that you can get your chips on an earlier streets and see all 5 cards. So yeah, definitely just going with the min raise here as my favorite option. Big blind calls, and the flop is queen 6-2 all spades. We have the ace of spades, so now our options are going to be to bet about 25 to 30% of the pot, bet half the pot, or a larger bet of 4 big blinds, which is about 70% of the pot.
All right, guys, what do you think? Franchise, thank you for the follow. Promptu, thank you for the follow as well.
All right, there it is. I think I figured it out, boys. Sorry, chat. Hopefully I made it much louder. I seen something that was low. It was OBS. Darn it. All right, we're good. Yeah, he made a very good point about limping the suited, maybe limping ace king suited as opposed to ace king off or something like that. Having that in our range probably better in some of the suited combos.
Yep. Let's see. Answers to stream in chat. Holding Me's Nuts says, Toe and Sixes, I absolutely love you guys for doing these sessions. This is the ultimate way to learn poker. You guys are ahead of your time. Thank you. Thank you, my man. That's fucking amazing. I don't even know how to respond to that. It's really kind of you, man. We like doing them, and we appreciate that you guys love them and join us. Thank you, man.
So yeah, what do we like here? I'm seeing 2 big blinds in the chat. That guy Ray J's going 3, BQ's going 4. What's up, Downer? Good morning, buddy. JWK's going 2.
Most of the audience going 2. We have a couple of 3 blinds in there. All Brooks says I like 3 blinds for some reason, but you don't know why. It just looks good to him.
I'm probably just gonna go 2.
Semi-wet, we like 3 bigs.
I'm just gonna go small here.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of. Well, what do you think, Lango? Let's get you in here.
Yeah, I mean, I like continuing kind of smallish with all my continues that I'm going to bet. So, I mean, I like 2 here.
Kind of the same, and Neckbeard said it was wet, but it's also wet in our favor, right? We have the ace of spades. So that's cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, I mean, we have 2 overs and ace of spades. Like, we want to go small. Maybe we can get him to check raise bluff. We want him to continue with worse spade draws. We have amazing equity versus any single pair hand he has. If he does, we want him to continue with maybe the jack of spades or something. So yeah, I want to go small, kind of maybe to induce some check raises, and then to like get him to call with worse. So yeah.
Yeah, and our stack is so shallow that we can go small and still get it in by river if we want to, and it won't be awkward, which is another kind of nice thing of paying 20 bigs.
Right.
All right, so.
Yep.
Your best option is definitely to just go ahead and bet small here. 1.5 big blinds, which is about 25 to 30% of the pot. You could argue to bet about a third of the pot. Any of those are fine. And this is just a flop. We're going to do a lot of small betting. If we are going to check back, it's going to be with hands that, you know, we aren't comfortable getting it in, or we want to pot control. You know, maybe a smaller pair that doesn't have a spade with it, even smaller pairs with a spade in it, that we really aren't crazy about getting it in on the flop. We can go ahead and check, but this one's a pretty easy bet. As far as betting half the pot, it's okay. You know, it's better than checking. It's also better than betting big, but in general, you just don't need to bet half the pot. We got to remember a lot of times we're going to have nothing here, and when we have nothing, we want to bet smaller so we can get a cheaper price on our bluff. So, you know, betting half the pot just doesn't change our opponent's decision too much more. So I think we're good just always betting small here. So we're going to go ahead and bet 1.5 big blinds. Opponent calls, turns to 10, and it gets checked to us. So here our options are going to be to check it back, to bet small, 3.5 big blinds, to bet big, 6.6 big blinds, or to go all in.
Here we go, boys. This should be interesting. I'm sure we'll get a lot of different answers here.
Yeah. Neckbird's out there for 6 bigs. Couldn't get it out there fast enough. Betting 4 bigs on the turn and setting up a river jam if needed, says Keo. 6, 6, 6, 4 blinds. Kept checking. 6 all day. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
You seeing a bunch of 6s. I'm seeing a few 4s in my chat. Keep going small-ish. Set our own price. What if we get check raise? You're just going with the peanut? 6 big blinds, Wayne Brain says. 6, 6, 6.
Yeah, I have a few smalls and a few checks, but mostly 6.
You're going 6 here?
I would.
This is weird, isn't it? Like,
I mean, if I had chips, I would go 6 here for sure. On this stack size, I'm a little conflicted and a little wanting to go smaller. just because like 4 is still big for my stack size, right?
Yep.
And if I go 4, there's 8 out there, and I can jam rivers easy enough.
Yeah, we still get some 6x, deuce X to fold. Maybe some worse underpair to folds. We have good equity versus the random queen X that probably never check raises. Their range probably continues inelastically. Maybe when they do have a queen to 4 or 6. So maybe 4 gives us a better price, and we can still jam when we get there. Going all in doesn't accomplish anything. We get called by better and get worse to fold.
And
We get a
wanna
few
jam
better
twice
hands to
pot,
fold.
right? Like, makes
Yeah.
no sense.
6, 12, 20 is going to be out there. We're going to have 13 in our stack if we go 6. Whew.
If you go 4, there's 16.5 out there, and you have 15 in your stack.
Yeah, maybe 6 is better. Shit. A little bit more fold equity, and we're just... we can just get more value, and he's going to feel more committed to calling with the spade sometimes, or if we hit a jack, it's gin, ace, king. Yeah, this is interesting. You aren't likely to get a call if you check and make a flush. No, we need to make it all. I agree betting. Yeah, this is a 10K. All right. I know what I'm doing.
I'm pretty torn between 4 and 6 personally. But
Same here.
I'll say this: the GTO Salver guy is gonna want to have check raise bluffs on the turn in his range, and if we bet 6, it's really hard for him to craft any, because it's like, how are we folding when we bet 6? But with 4, we have 15 bigs behind. We can still theoretically get away, and that puts more bluffs into his range, which we're gonna call if he check shoves. So maybe a +4 sets up a better river bluff sizing for us, but I don't know. I'm lost in the spot. I don't like checking, and I don't like going all in, but I don't know which of the other two options I like.
Same here. I think it's got to be 4 or 6. I'm kind of leaning towards 6 personally. I mean, I think in game I would go 6 here more than I would go 4. But
Dude, when it says check and realize or 4 binds and jam rivers, he's torn. What's up, Alan? Good to see you. Good morning.
I don't like knowing that the other player is GTO.
Then you in 10Ks, a lot of them are GTO.
Yeah, there's a bunch of beasts in the 10Ks. Yeah.
And the ones that aren't GTO are just savage Picassos.
Or too rich to care, right? Or too rich to care.
I mean, checking. I tend to bet the spot, but checking has some merit too on some level, right? Because we have 2 overs, a gutter, and the nut flush. But
that's primarily when we don't want to get check raised on a turn. If I get check raised and I'm going 6, I guess we just cannot fold, right? There's just no way.
Right.
6 it is, I guess.
Well, says she didn't see the rest of the play, but if it's a GTO guy, we should be betting big here. The problem is we only have 18 bigs behind, and I don't really like betting and leaving myself 12 behind. Like, that seems shit.
Watch Faraj check here, man.
I won't be surprised if he checks to realize. For me, I think it's check or 4. I'm kind of torn between those two.
6 just puts us in an awkward ass spot, right? We just never. Oh man, this is tough.
Is there any merit to simply 2x potting all in against a GTO Salver guy?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure you can convince me. Now you said it out loud. I mean, you could just do that so he folds out.
I'm trying to convince myself, but yeah, that kind of puts GTO Salver guy in a spot he doesn't want to be in, which I like to do personally. I'm not getting myself on board with jamming, but I think there's some merit to that.
I like that better than 6, personally. 6, I just think puts us in a weird, awkward spot. So for me, So 6 is out for me for sure.
The more everyone talks, the less I like my 6.
I tend to bet here 4 bigs. I mean, that's what I would do in game.
Me too, Wayne Brain. The more everybody stop talking, I hate my 6 answer now. Damn it. 4. All right, I'm ready.
Big blind is Chidwick. I saw him at the table. Just gave him my chips before even hands were dealt. That's
if you're going to do that, why no check and see the river and make that decision?
If the big blind's Chidwick, I might just jam pre. To be honest.
No. All right.
You want to answer that question, 6s, before we roll it?
No, I think I'm going 4.
All right.
Oh, answer what question? Jamming pre?
You know, there was a question in your chat, wasn't there? Was I wrong?
if you're going to do that, why no check and see the river and make that decision? I certainly think checking and realizing. I just feel like this is strong enough where we can continue betting and using. Since we went so small on the flop, I think it's just going to continue with any pair. 6x, deuce x. We can just get folds there. I don't think we get check raised all that often in this spot on the turn as well. And then I think we have a lot of equity going to the river where we're going to be able to just jam for value. So, I'm trying to just, we got fold equity and we can just make the best hand or get some better hands to fold, which are
Don't we
pairs.
lose EV by jamming if he folds with all our equity? I mean, that is a bad thing about jamming. The thing too is like we narrow his range to only calling with hands that
It just
kind of
sucks
crush.
to go 4 and fold. Are you going 4 and fold? If
What
you get check
made
pickups?
hands jam? It's a very good question. I don't have very many.
Oh.
For
All right, 4
12.
it is for me.
4. Let's do it.
Yep.
So this is definitely a spot we're going to want to continue betting a lot. The 10 is definitely a better card for our range than our opponent's range. With our specific holding, we have a lot of equity. Any jack, any king, any ace, any spade. So we're pretty happy just putting a lot of chips into the pot here. We also can put our opponent into a pretty tough spot with really any of their pairs besides a queen, or if they somehow ended up with a 10 in their hand with a spade. Those are probably the only combos of hands they're really comfortable continuing with. So that said, in terms of sizing, I'm pretty happy going with the smaller sizing here of 3.5 big blinds. And the reason for that is, again, when we're betting here, we're targeting their 6x, their 2x, or maybe some of their other hands they may have floated with that are just a hand with a spade in it. Maybe a 4-5 with a spade in it. They still have a decent amount of equity, and we're pretty happy just getting those hands to fold as well. So really, if you bet 3.5, you're putting a lot of pressure on those types of hands, and it doesn't make a difference betting 3.5 or 6.6. And in terms of the times they have a queen in their hand or a 10 with a spade, they're not going to fold whether you bet 6.6 big blinds or 3.5 big blinds. So that's why you really benefit heavily by taking that smaller sizing, because you get the same effect when you want them to fold, and you minimize the pot size and your losses during the times they have those hands that they're not going to fold anyways. And the last part to this is, I know sometimes it's tempting to check here because it feels like it sucks to get jammed on, but really we have so much equity and we're shallow enough here that we can bet and call off when we get jammed on. So the times we want to consider checking are when we have a lot of equity, and if we bet and they jam, we're going to be getting odds that don't allow us to call. So, if we were possibly another 25 to 30 big blinds deep here, and we were worried about them jamming, or, maybe we didn't have the ace, maybe we had something like, ace 9 with the 9 of spades, and we really wanted to see a river, then we might consider checking. But here, we get to see the river even if we bet because we can call off. So that's why we just need to bet here. So yeah, definitely the best play here is going to be that small bet of 3.5 big blinds. I'm also okay with the 6 big blinds bet. Going all in, I don't like at all. The reason I don't like that is because we want to make sure we get to bluff here. And if we're going all in, then it's hard for us to bluff with the all-in sizing. So I don't like all in. And checking, I could see some arguments for that, but I think we're just missing out on a lot of EV if we check. So although I can see some rare scenarios I might check here, I definitely heavily prefer that. So we went ahead and
That was a good one.
3.5 big blind, and we get jammed on here.
You just said the answer.
Now our options are to call or fold.
He just told us what to do,
Well,
right? Did you guys already click it?
no, but he did tell us what to do.
No,
Who-
I mean, in his explanation,
Who was paying attention? Oh,
sorry.
looks like Toami was paying attention.
Yeah, I think we know what his right answer is.
Yeah, he said it like 3 times in his explanation. I think we just click call. Like,
Yeah, there's
if
not a
you-
wrong answer in the chat right now.
Yeah, I don't see one wrong answer. You guys are paying attention. That's really good. This is like when the teacher stands in front of the class and gives the correct answer on the quiz, and all you have to do is like listen and just fill in the blank.
That is
Like,
funny.
yeah. All right, let's hit call and hear his explanation why this is good. You ready?
Yep, done.
Yep, done. Cool.
So we're definitely going to be calling the all-in here. We are getting about 3-to-1 odds to call, which is a lot. Which means we only need to be about 25% to win this hand. And, we have all of our spade outs. Since we have the nut flush draw, it's pretty likely a jack is going to give us a win. It's also fairly likely just any king or ace is going to give us a win as well. So we're getting immediate odds even if we're behind. But keep in mind, we also have the best hand some of the time. There's hands like King 9 with a spade, King Jack with a spade, or even hands like King of Spades 4, King of Spades 5, King of Spades 3. These are all hands that our opponents probably going to call on the flop and probably going to be pretty tempted to continue in some fashion on the turn. There's even some chance they'd take a hand like 4-5 with spade and put it in here. That I don't think is going to be too common unless it's a very aggressive player. But on top of the immediate odds, we just have we're doing pretty good here. So definitely call it.
No!
He never shows
I
the
hate
outcome.
these quizzes. We didn't even get to see what the river card was.
This son of a bitch! He does this every time to me. I know what's
This
going.
felt worse because we didn't even get to see that we got there.
Nope, we don't know what happened. We just made the correct play. Move on.
Move on to the next quiz.
This is the strip club of his quizzes are like the strip clubs of like quiz.
They just leave you
All right.
wanting more.
The strip club of quiz poker. Sweet.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
Oh no! I'm not even
It's a-
looking to see what the other guy had, but I want to see if the river. I held my breath, and then when it didn't come out, I gasped.
I just want to see if we get there or not. Come on, we're poker players. How are we running?
We might already be there. He can have King Jack.
Yeah, I mean, did we win? Did he already have like King Jack? Yeah, I don't know. King Jack of Spades.
Dr. Bates, thank you for the sub, buddy. Welcome. Hoser Hero, thank you for the follow as well. Welcome. Yeah, that was painful. We got in this super awkward spot on the turn, and then we make all the analysis, and we go, and then and that's it.
That's it. It's gone. Done. You played the hand good. Well played. 10 points. Bye-bye. Get your ass out of here. That's awesome.
That is funny.
Told him he's nuts says he just GTO'd us in the quiz category.
GT owned us for sure. You have one you want to pick? Let's the day pick one.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Oh, you put me on the spot. Okay, let me go into the quizzes here.
Yeah, you can see maybe my stream or Toe stream to make sure we don't you don't pick a duplicate.
He's on my login, so we can see.
Oh, okay, you can see everything. Cool.
I can see toes, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, how about 867?
$11 15K guarantee with the Ducks at 3-6, and it's Alex. Buckle up, boys. This could be a 30-minute quiz, or it could be 3 minutes. So you never
warning,
know.
advance warning. If he's got an 11-minute explanation, we're doing the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fly through it because we can't sit here for 10, 15 minutes for one part.
Let's get him out of there.
Let's do it.
Everybody. So in this hand, you're playing the $11 15K guarantee on America's Card Room. You have 2-2 in the big blind. Under the gun +1, his min raise. Villain 16 has put his money in, and he's been fairly loose so far. Villain 11 is playing about 15% of his hands, and every single time he plays, he raises. You have 59,671 chips at 300-600 with an ante of 75. Pre-flop here, would you like to fold, call, raise to 45.50, or raise all in?
Like I pumped up the volume a little bit. So
Yeah, it's super low. Basically, we have twos. Guy who's opening is opening 50% of hands, and every time he's opening, he's raising. And then we get the short shove on the button. The question is, what are we going to do? Big Time Brown,
what's up, chat?
This deep, I kind of like a call because the jam is not quite large enough to reopen the betting to Villain 11, so he can only call, and we take a flop.
That was the first question I was going to ask. I always fuck that up online. And I'm like, damn it. Why didn't I see the guy in the cutoff where I should have made it 4K instead of, the 3600 or whatever?
Right. Well, it's a min raise, so the raise is 600. 600 more is 1800, and he's jamming for 11 chips less than that. So his jam doesn't reopen betting.
Yeah, I'm seeing a few folds. I'm saying that guy Ray J is folding. Looks like a couple fold. I honestly let's think about what he said about this player. Okay, this player's playing half the damn hands right now. He's always opening. He's playing super aggressive. I think he's gonna be likely to make some post flop errors. We're gonna be able to even maybe float a flop. This just kind of dry, depending. He can't come over the top of this. Yeah, I think we just call personally.
Me too. We're getting good set money odds and
dead money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we raised the 4K and then fold? Are we're raising with no blockers or anything. If we jam, I guess, but then I don't know.
You jam, you get a lot of folds, you pick up the dead money, but still
we're still flipping versus 1700. I mean, there's not that much incentive. The dead money in the pot, we're still flipping versus I think a lot of the value comes from keeping in Villain 11 and hitting the set. Or able to check call once.
Matt says, something tells me we don't want to flat three ways, so like ISO to 4,500, and then a bunch of other calls. One reason we don't jam is because it just allows them to play perfectly. It doesn't allow them to bluff. I agree. Think I'm folding, but Villain only has 33 bigs. Just call, fold, quiz over, move on. I know we don't have a main hand.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting set mining odds regardless.
People are just so against this. I don't care about the previous history. Just never play 2-2 here like this. Gonna call and fold? Sure. I mean, we have 100 bigs. Who gives a shit? We're getting a good price. It's not gonna affect our utility. This guy's playing half the hands and most likely like shit. Like I'm not gonna let him have it. He can't open up the action. He's probably gonna c-bet and didn't give up more often than some players. Like there's just no way.
Yeah. Always. Yeah. 100% set. Yeah, always. And then we just stack off. We hit a 2, fold 3 blinds. When we don't, we move on with our lives. We have 95 bigs.
Yeah.
Plus, Six has made a comment about we may be able to float some flops and stuff with this hand. When we have an all-in with a dry side pot, sometimes these guys are just totally reluctant to bet because it's a dry side pot. No, they think that betting's bad. So we may actually get free turns and stuff as well. It's tangible, I think.
I've lost 10 times with twos at least. I said, that's okay. You still get set mining odds. You play the odds, and they'll come. Like, that's fine.
And you hear what he said? Did you guys hear what he said about, like, people are going to be reluctant to bluff in dry side pots?
Yep.
Which is going to allow us to realize equity even more with a hand like this, where we may get even more honest responses. So kudos to that. Kudos to that assessment as well.
And guys, have you not heard? Twos never lose.
Deuces never loses. All right, let's do it. I'm calling, and let's see what Alex likes here.
Yep.
Let me ask you a question. Well, actually, you know what? I'll show you what we do. Then we'll take a flop. So in the actual hand I played last night, I called, and Villain 11 called. And we got this board 5-7-4. Here, would you like to check? Bet 25.85? Bet 35.86? Or bet 45.86?
I got as well.
Do we lead or check? What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you like here, chat? 25, 85, 35, 86, or 45, 86? Dunner says, I'm lost. BQ is just checking. Check, check, check. Everybody's checking.
I got a check, and I got a lead. I got 2 leads and a bunch of checks. Check.
Bet 2,500. The range is in your favor. Uh-oh, okay, Lyco, I see you. Check, check, check. War of the Lance is betting. What are you betting, War of Lance? What size you like? 2,600? Okay. Ray's betting. I'm assuming RJ, 25.85 as well. So all the bets coming in my chat are the smaller sizing.
Me too.
And then we're seeing
very few.
Liberitos betting big once. 45.86. He's betting the big ass size.
Who?
Libreto.
Oh, I thought you said Deuterino because he checked in my chat. I was like, this guy's leveling. Playing. He's hedging his bets.
He's hedging his bets in chat. This flop kills the big blinds range.
Fallon says, no reason to bet with no side pot. Ian agrees.
What do you like here, Tom?
I think I check in game, but I check too often. I think this smacks our big blind defend range, and we can lead and get heads up with an all in and get the dead money. And our hand is always going to get worse on turns and rivers. So if we're checking, we're just check giving up, and the turn's going to come shitty, and we're going to check that and give up, and then the river's going to come shitty, and we're going to check that and give up. So I think our only way to win this pot right now is the lead. And I kind of like 2,500 because if he's got ace king, how does he ever call with no side pot?
You just hit all the points that I was just going to say. Like,
That's
this is as good as our hand's going to get. Yeah, this is as good as it's going to get. It's not going to get any better. We don't want to check call. He can bet an ace high here. A pair is very hard to make and hold him, right? It's not easy to just hit a pair. So we have a pair. He likely can be raising with a lot of high cards, mostly in his opening range, even though he's opening a shitload of hands. But he's going to miss a lot if he's opening that many hands. And here I think 2,500 just gets us heads up versus the villain in often enough where we should be good, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've massive
like
range advantage here, too, being in the big blind with the...
Yeah, this smacks us. He doesn't float as much. His overcards are in shit, you know. He has so many, like, queen, 10, king, queen, ace highs that are just like, all right, I'm done. And I think that's what we want.
Yep.
I agree. Good job. I mean, I say good job. Watch Alex go like, we want to go 4.5K here. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah, but you get an asterisk because it's Alex.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if Alex goes 4.5K, and I'll tell you why. I like betting this flop way superior to checking personally because this dude opens half his hands. He's missed this, and while you guys were talking, I pulled up Flopzilla just to see how much. If he's opening 50% of hands, he has high cards or ace high 64% of the time. He has no made hands 64% of the time. We can protect our equity. If we bet small, like 25, this guy's going to probably call and float us with a lot, at least the ace highs, at the bare minimum. And that's 23% of his range is ace high. But if we bet big, you know, I've watched a lot of Alex's stuff, so I have a feeling Alex is going to say that we want to make a bet that will fold out ace high. And that's probably 4,500. If we get called, we'll probably have to shut down and are done, but... that reasonably isolates us against the all-in, where we should be good often enough. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. I like 35 or 45, personally.
Oof.
Because you think you get too many floats with a 25.85, huh?
Well, I mean, if you bet, well, okay, here, Toe, pretend you're villain 11. We know you don't open half your hands from this position. Pretend you're villain 11, and you have ace 10 suited. Are you folding to 2,500 from the big blind?
Tell the truth. With the backdoor flush draw as well?
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, I see what your point is. You're getting good odds to call for a quarter pot or a third pot, whatever. My only thought is with ace 10, like some of my clubs, diamonds or hearts on the turn are nasty, like anything 8 and under, right?
But yeah, plug 50% range into Flopzilla in this flop texture, and this dude has no made hand or ace high 64% of the time. 2/3 of the time.
Bet small, right?
That's why I would probably go bet small and then double barrel more. Like if I go small, I'm a double barrel more. But if we go big, Yeah, I mean, he still has so much
Only if I had all
bullshit.
this time to make a decision. A lot of this is dragged out on purpose on poker. Like, as your A game gets better and whatnot, like, a lot of this is things that the three of us who are hosting kind of think of instinctively. But we're talking it out, one, for you guys, and two, because it's good to help us get better. You want to talk it out and see all the angles. So while this is how we study, we don't necessarily take this long to play. A lot of this is stuff we do instinctively. We're sharing it. We're sharing the knowledge for you guys.
Yeah, we're just debating some of these spots and decisions and sizing points and whatnot. And I think it's good to do. Like, we do this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it helps our thought processes in game of like, aha. We have so many aha moments, right?
Mm-hmm. And when you do this all the time, that's what makes it instinctual in game.
Right.
Yep. Get faster and more time to deal with it. Yep.
If we, Fantastic Fallon really likes checking here. So my question is, if we check and he bets, I assume we're calling. Then what are we doing out of position on the turn? I feel like totally lost, and our hand is definitely at the apex of its strength. It's going to get weaker on every run out that doesn't contain a 2. So
right.
I don't know how we're like, are we just kind of check calling and building a side pot for villain 11 to take?
If we check here, we've already lost his hand.
Well, I mean, this is just a good board to lead out on. And I think, if we're exploiting, maybe this would be kind of player that would stab once and just give up because the board's going to run out pretty good for our actual check calling range a lot. And he just cannot bluff like a 3, an 8, a 6 or something like that. He's just going to be done with the hand unless he actually picked it up. So I think there is a little merit in the checking, but we can use these kind of 3 straight card boards from the big blind range to just our advantage, and our hand needs protection as well, because I do think he checks back and gets to realize equity, or puts us in a horrible spot by betting big or something,
Sure. And to be fair, Fallon, too, like I said I was checking this in game, but I think I should lead. So I'm not that comfortable leading out either. So again, something
I would always lead.
Lango makes a good point about going a little higher than 2,500 to stop the ace-10 suiteds, ace-10 of hearts, ace-10 of clubs, ace-10 of diamonds, or something of that nature to random float, especially something like maybe Jack-10 that's got backdoor straight as well. So now I'm thinking 3,500.
All right, yeah, I'm going 25 still.
All right,
cool.
Fuck it. We'll give Sixes a chance. We kicked his ass today.
Hey, shut your
Hey, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's take this back to the beginning of the hand. So let me ask you a question. If you cold call here, does that reopen the action? What if the all-in was 1889? What is the smallest legal raise here? It isn't 2,400. This is something, if you didn't grow up playing limit poker, a lot of people struggle with this. So you actually, the first raise here is to 600. The big blind is 600. You made it 600 more. So a minimum raise would be just like that, right? So whenever you're here and you have a small pair versus a tight aggressive player, what this guy wants, he's playing 15% of the hands. That's usually a really good range. He would love for you to raise an amount so he can shut the door on you and just shove. He would love that. He doesn't want to play a flop with you. Many of the very tight aggressive players don't love playing flops. One benefit you have if you play obscenely tight pre-flop is on the flop you tend to have something. That's really good when you're starting out, but if you have a player that's been doing that for 5 or 6 years, there tends to be a reason for that. A lot of them do not like playing the flop. Therefore, if that person's all-in is not reopening the action, if he does not have a legal raise, I'm just going to go ahead and call here. Okay? So when we call, and then he can call behind or fold, then we're going to take the flop, right? Now, remember, we know this guy's a little bit tight aggressive, so if he's tight, a 5-7-4 board is not anywhere near where he wants to be. If he's got a pair, he's still got a pair, but the vast majority of his range combinatoric-wise, because there's only 6 ways to make each pair, but if you're counting offsuit and unsuited combos, there's 16 combinations of ace-king, ace-queen, etc. What he has there, the vast majority of the time, is high cards. Now, if you check here, you're just gifting him free cards because he's not most likely going to c-bet. He's going to take his free cards. If you lead out here, since he's a little tight aggressive, it's very likely that he will fold. And that is what ended up happening. And we did end up picking up the pot.
There we go. I was muted. Sorry about that. Good spot, guys. And a spot where a lot of people are super uncomfortable leading out. And interesting spot to take, a different line and kind of realize that we should have some leads from the big blind on boards like this.
So Alex said the guy is tight aggressive, and I thought he was looser. But just if I take Flopzilla, I still have it open, and shave down his pre-flop opens in half to like 25%. Now he has no made hand or ace high 71% of the time. Like, he's just missed this board texture so often. Like, I like that we definitely have to lead if he's a tighter player because, yeah, like Alex said, we're just giving
him just so much less as a tighter player, right?
Yeah, he just has to give up so often in that spot for sure.
Part of the caveat of he's whiffed a lot at 50% opens, but he also gets down into hands that actually have some connection to this board, which is almost nothing if he's opening, say, 25% of hands, save for the sets.
Right, and he's going to play pretty honestly as well, like every time, So I think that's a great spot, and everybody, we got to call pre-flop. I've seen a lot of folds, and we need to be calling pre-flop.
And saw almost nobody leading, too.
Yeah, and we just lead there for protection, as well.
Yeah. And shout out to Alex, the shortest Alex Fitzgerald quiz in history. The first part, he was like kind of talking a little slow. I was like, oh shit, I better check the time on this. It was only a minute and a half. It was good.
All right. Very nice quiz. Do we have time for one more? We got like 10 minutes. We got you want to wrap it up? What are you guys thinking? That quiz was one of Alex's world record fastest quizzes.
Yeah, it was great.
That's so sick that it was so quick.
It was perfect, and it was a lot of good lessons in 2 spots. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was good.
Right. Yeah.
Lango running hot on quiz selection.
Yeah, really, dude. You don't even understand. I would say like 75% of his quizzes are 20 minutes plus or something like that. Like
at least 15.
At least 15.
And it's all just watching. They're 7-minute video clips.
Yeah. Insane.
Cool. I got time for one more if you do. If you don't, we can wrap it up. It's up to you, sis.
It would have to be a quick one. I wouldn't be able to do like a 20-minute quiz or anything. So it would be sweet to see the timestamps of how long each quiz is in the description. Wouldn't that be sweet? But they're all relatively.
Wizard says, I just got here, do one more. All right, how about a Jonathan Little one? We haven't done that yet, right?
Yeah, let's do a JL one.
His is pretty
straightforward.
839.
All right, yeah, the $1,500 live tournament with 8-9 suited. Let's do it. One more.
All right, cool.
We have the wonderful 9-8 of spades in a $1,500 shootout. Remember, a shootout is a tournament where you have to collect all the chips at your table, so this plays more like a winner-take-all cash game than a tournament. So with 9-8 of spades, should we fold, call, raise to 1,700, or raise to 2,200?
Back it up, level.
Yeah, back it up so you can see it.
All right. Early in the shootout, we need to win the shootout to advance. We're all super deep. What do you guys like here with the 8-9 suited? Anybody folding? limping 1722. Beat Riz is going 2.2K. Almost 3 bigs.
Yeah, I got some 2200s, 2200, 1700s. 1700 is about equal between 22 and 17 right now.
Yeah, I'm seeing 1700s in my chat. That guy, Ray RJ, would be folding 22s, one fold. Damn, a lot of 22s.
Toe was in the group of 22. We are 80 bigs deep, right?
Is it 80 bigs effective? We have 80, and yeah, we're
everyone's pretty much 80. Yeah.
I like
I like a little bit larger sizing this deep, so I like 22. But I think 17 is fine as well. Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't do those things.
Yeah, I mean, it should be, like, it's not going to be that big of a deal whether you go 17 or 22, in my opinion. If I'm going to be playing a lot of pots, and I think the table's week, I'm going to be going 17, you know, but if I think it's tougher, I'm going to be playing fewer pots, and we're deep, I'm going to be going 22. Kind of personally for me. So, you know, yeah, I think Jonathan's going to be want to go 22.
2.3 to 2.5. You know,
right
down to 60 bigs, and after 60 bigs, I start min-raising. And a lot of times, too, one thing I'll do, too, guys, is like, it depends on the button and the blinds. If I have 100 bigs and the button and the blinds have 20, then I'm min-raising. Because those are who you're most likely going to play pots against.
Right.
Yeah, like Wayne Brain said in Six's chat, I'm probably going 2K in-game myself. So, like, we're splitting hairs, I think, a little bit with this sizing, but I'm interested to hear what Jonathan's analysis is between the different sizings.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna click 17 because that's what I would do because I'd be playing a shitload of pots probably. So I'm gonna go 17.
In a normal tournament, I think folding this is at least acceptable, but in a shootout, I am virtually always playing this because there's no benefit in moving up the payout structure at all because there is no payout structure, right? You just make it, you either win the tournament or you don't. You win the table or you don't. So for that reason, we are definitely going to play this hand, and we're going to make a standard raise for about 3 big blinds, given we are 80 big blinds deep. If we were shallower, we'd make it less, like 1700, but we are still pretty deep stacked. Now we flop a very good hand, a middle pair, and a flush draw. Should we check, bet 2,800, bet 5,200, or bet 7,800?
Okay. This thing's where things get a little weird. Ian, thank you for that gift sub, man. 142 gift subs in the channel is ungodly.
Beast.
All right. We got middle pair and a draw. What y'all think? Check 2,800, 5,200, or 7,800.
Damn, people are bumming, bro. 5.2Ks in my chat. 2,800.
And now I have one of the two, 28 and 52.
Peanut Flush says he would go 4K, so he's not sure. 2,800, it's too small. 5.2K, Dunner says. I have a lot of equity. What if you bet 5,200 and get 2 calls and don't hit on a turn? You just stop? Or are we, you know?
Fallon says she bets small and calls a raise. Keo is checking or betting small. Wiz says 2,800. Play the marginal main hand when you have a draw and marginal check, says Mr. Bruce.
Ooh. The cool thing, if you checked here, you would rarely be put on the flush, right? Still some King X behind. I don't know, man.
What are you doing here?
I just want to see. I'm still letting chat answer. I'm seeing a lot more 52s than I thought. I don't know. I probably wouldn't use the big sizing, but...
It's even for me between 52 and 2,800 in my chat.
Yeah, I'm seeing about equal here. More 5,200s, honestly.
I think I'm actually checking myself. I mean, you could, you could bet go with it. I mean, I think you can bet go with it because you're not, with a pair and the flush draw, you're not that far behind. I mean, it's like 50-50 with ace king, basically. And it's almost, I can look it up, but it's like 55 or 45, I think, against, if he's got aces specifically, but no spade. Let me look. So you could take the flip here, but I tend to not flip for the 100 bigs. Say E bigs, whatever.
80,
so I'm just checking and calling any action and figuring out turn. And then probably calling a lot of turns
to
I mean,
most
yeah, it's not like the hijack can't be king dense here. They certainly have some king, queen, king, jack, king 10. We don't block any of that. We tend to bet and get called and play the spot out of position, and the blank comes. I guess we can keep betting fairly small, might be an option on some of those kind of runouts, and expect not to get raised a lot. And then just, decide if we pick up enough value to bet river or what. So I'm either going to go small, or check and have some deception and be able to call two bets like you say as well, Toe.
And also, people realize how strong we are here too. Like against aces with no spade, we are 49.8 to 50.2. If they have ace king with no spade, we are ahead 50.1, 49.9. So I mean that's how strong this pair and flush draw is.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. If you bet and get re-raised and stuff, like you pretty much.
What do you like there, Lango?
I kind of agree with what Wizavaz said in Toe's chat. Checking's not bad, but still betting, and I like the small size for sure, to 2,800.
Yeah.
And a couple reasons. I mean, well, first of all, I think we'd like to bet because we really wouldn't mind the tag going away, and then we have Splashy Guy making a lot of loose calls against us out of position, which is really favorable. But if we bet this hand and get raised, if we bet 2,800 and get raised, commensurate to that sizing, it's fun. We can continue. But if we bet 52 and get raised in line with that sizing, the hand starts to get ugly.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
So
here we go.
I'm not sure we really want to court putting ourselves in that position with a hand with this much equity. I like 2,800 personally.
Right, I mean, when we do get raised, like, what can they possibly raise with sets of deuces, king 9, king deuce from the big blind, splashy player. Really hard for the tag to have 9s or kings. And if he raises like ace queen of spades, we have that in pretty bad shape. So
Tag's pretty much only going to raise with king queen plus, and then king jack, king 10. Those kind of things are just going to flat, right?
Right, yeah. If we go 2,800, we start building the pot. We can start polarizing on some turns and things. Yeah, I like 28.
There's no two pairs.
We want to bet because we want to start building this pot. But we also, if we ever get raised, we have a very easy call. They can't make it big enough where we don't call. With 5K, we're just like, all right, we might have to play for stacks right now. So 28 for me.
You talk me into it.
Let's do it.
I think both checking and betting small are perfectly viable options here. If we do bet, we don't want to bet too big because we're essentially trying to get called by hands worse than 9-8, right? And it's kind of hard for a hand worse than 9-8 to call a small bet. Call a big bet. So when we bet small, what happens is some hands worse than 9-8 will call, and also we make random overcards fold. Like say someone has ace jack, they're just going to fold, and that's a fine result for 2,800. Checking is also fine though because that forces our opponents to stay in, which may induce them to bluff the turn. Also, it makes it where we don't bet and get raised ever, which is also quite nice. You don't really want to be getting it all in. The mistake I used to make all the time was just to get it all in with any pair plus draw, thinking, it's about 50-50. The problem though is that when you do get it all in, sometimes you're reading it sets in two pairs, and then it's not 50-50. They're just drawn to a flush, right? So this is a situation where I can go either way, and this time we like to check. Checks through. Turn brings a flush. And big blind checks. Should we check, bet 3,000, bet 5,000, or bet 7,000?
Go on, guys. So better than 2,800 and checking. Pretty much the same. 9 versus 10.
Yeah, I mean, we made very good points. And I thought it was very close between the both for me as well. Like, I can see myself checking in this spot. And then if we are going to bet, I think only small really makes sense. So, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and I crushed on the little quizzes, so I should have just gone with my gut. Yeah. So here, we got the flush. I mean, we're all betting, right? No one's checking. You can take that just off the table.
Yeah, I'm seeing 3K, 7K, 5K. So BQ and Beat are going 3, and Berrito's going 7, Peanut's going 5.
See, 5K. Oh, got this one right. Got this, buddy. Meadows going 3K. Keep king and a 9 in. 5K. Bunch of fives.
Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing here. I think we want to go 5 to 7 personally. Still so many. I think 3K just gives some single spade hands, a good enough price to call, like Jack 10 with the Jack of Spades or something like that for 3K. It's just not folding.
You're also losing value from
ace
Jack 10
four,
with the Jack
ace
of Spades,
five.
right? Those will call
Yeah, we get
bet too.
bigger bets. Yeah, and then I don't know. I mean, I could see 70K here, but we still 5K is big enough where we can still get called by some worse hands as well. So 5K or higher for sure. I agree, Dunner. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I like 5K as well for those reasons.
Yeah.
We're really targeting the single big spades and denying hands, like you said, like the Jack 10 with the Jack of Spades from calling this turn, which is, we really want that to go away and not call. Nobody should have a king in this spot because, tag didn't bet in position, splashy guys check turn. So I think we're really just targeting spades here, and 5,000 makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind getting called by those hands, but we just don't want to give them a good price. Like,
right.
Jack 10,
it's
exactly. Awesome. But giving it a good price is just kind of terrible because then if we go 3K, we potentially get both these players to just call with a single spade hand, like a queen X of spades, queen Jack and then Jack 10. Or we just give both hands a pretty good price to outdraw us, So yeah, I think they can call, but 5K we're getting more value.
Yeah, I didn't say that really well, but yeah, I don't mind getting called by Jack 10 with the Jack of Spades for 5,000, but for 3,000, I feel like we're just handing him equity, which we don't need to hand him.
Exactly, I completely agree there. All right, 5K for me.
Let's do it.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Need to bet now. At this point, we have the best hand, and it's very easy for us to get called by worse hands, either worse made hands or like ace high flush draw. So this is certainly a spot where we want to bet and get money in the pot. It is mandatory. You typically want to go for a relatively large size in these spots because we are trying to get called by, the ace high flush draw. The ace high flush draw, if we bet tiny, we're getting a good odds, right? And if our opponents do have top pair type hands, we'd rather than put more money in the pot because they're not going to hold those either. So notice how the logic from the flop changed a lot to the turn because we went from a marginal made hand on the flop, which usually wants to bet small, to now a very strong made hand on the turn, which usually wants to bet big. So we do go 5,000, which I think is nice. I don't think we need to go much bigger because once we start going really big, then we're mostly going to get called by really good made hands. And obviously we can get called by really good made hands anyway, but we want to get called by the marginal made hands. So we bet 5,000, hijack calls, big blind folds. River is the 7 of spades. Should we check? Bet 4,000, bet 8,000, or bet 12,000?
Barf!
Oh, piss.
Barf.
Oh, piss. This is not fun.
Come on, guys. This is like a standard bet on Global.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Not for me. I never lose on Global.
7K sounded better. Again, he shit says shit. Alright, horrible river. Everybody's just checking now. I think I know what I'm doing. But
Matt says blocker bet and fold, which definitely kind of ran through my mind.
Slim bit, check in, check fold. This happens to me all the time.
I mean, the only thing is, this tag guy's got to be able to go over pot on the river to try and get something like a Jack of Spades to fold, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so I don't think this guy's got that kind of nuts. So I think we're going to check, and they're going to check back a lot, and we're just going to get showdown value a lot. Because they're going to think, the marginal spades are going to check call so much.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was saying, I'm sorry. I think I would just go 4. I don't think we ever get raised with outside. If we go 4, he's even calling with some better hands. Like, he's going to call with maybe the Jack, Queen, or 10, and he's only going to raise us with the Ace or the King. But if we check in this spot, he probably doesn't think we check raise enough and might put out a hefty size value bet with, like, a Queen or a King or something like that. Then we have a decision. Like, I don't know. I think we can go 4K. Maybe kind of, it's hard to imagine getting called by worse, but I don't think he raises us without the stones, to be honest. And if we check, we just could put in a really weird spot versus unknown bet sizes.
I prefer checking personally, And I think you kind of touched on it though, Six, is like, if we're betting, it's hard for me to see what worse hands are going to call us. And certainly better hands aren't going to fold, especially if we're going 4,000. We're not getting the 10 of spades, the naked 10 of spades to fold for 4,000. So I don't know what we're accomplishing by betting, really. I like checking. I don't know. I guess it's a really gross spot if the tag makes a big bet after we check, but are tags really bluffing for big bets?
Yeah, we can't
spots? I mean, maybe not. Maybe we can we just check fold to the tag if he bombs? And if it goes check, we're going to win like most of the time. But to your point that he's not going to raise us with a jack or 10 of spades, he's probably not betting a jack or 10 of spades either. He's probably just showing those down, I would think.
And another good thing is when you want to block bet, another important thing we want to block bet, you have to be able to get called by something worse. And I think when we block bet, I can't think of anything worse he was really going to call us with. Honestly, I don't think he just even calls with like a king if he played it tricky or weird like this where he didn't bet in the back seat. Or jacks or something like that. He just checked back with no spade. Like, I just can't imagine like what worse hand's going to call us. So I guess we do just check folds, and he probably just checks back like 10s with the 10 of spade. And if he actually bets big and he's tight, we just get the hell out of here. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Bet fold. I'm seeing some bet folds in my chat. 4K fold, 4K. Jacob. I was with you guys, but I can't imagine getting called by worse. So I'm kind of changing my answer after I really think about it. All right. You guys checking, betting?
I would check in game.
By the way, I would add to that, if the players were reversed and this was Splashy Guy still having a hand at the river, I like betting better because he will actually call with horse shit.
Because he's in the big blind as well.
He might call with non-flushes, for God's sake.
And he also might put you to the test, on the turn. Like, you're asking, do tag players really do that? I think I'm kind of a tag player a little bit. And I think I would, if I put myself in a category, it'd be definitely that versus lag. And if you check this river to me, I'm fucking going pot and a half.
Well, that's only if you have, if you have something with showdown value that you don't want to bet and get raised off, like a 10 or a jack, like, are you going to open up the action with the jack and
get... I have a 10 or a jack of spades, I'm probably going to check back, but if I have anything else, maybe not the ace of spades or the king of spades either, or the ace of spades rather, but if I have some bullshit, I'm going to fucking pot and a half just because you never check the ace of spades on the river. You never check the queen of spades on the river.
Because you're just too likely to check back in the back seat.
Because you're checking and I'm going to pounce.
Yeah.
Hold'em He's Nuts says, if we check here and he bets 4K, what do we do? I vomit and probably call.
Me too.
We're getting like 5-1 or something at that point. Or 4-1. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to check. I think you guys made good points, and I just can't imagine what worse hands call.
And that type of good point. The blocker bet isn't really to try and get called by worse. It's more of just to stop the bomb on the river.
Yeah, that's what that's how I felt about it initially. I want to stop a very awkward spot. But if I'm never getting called and he's always just going to call with better and zero worse hands, I don't think I love it as much. Mm. So, yeah. All right. I'm checking.
Me too.
Let's do it.
Well, our hand went from being a very strong made hand on the turn to a very marginal made hand, perhaps even a junk hand on the river. This is a situation where I'm going to check the vast majority of the time. And then it actually gets kind of dicey as to whether or not you check and then call, because really most people are only betting with the ace on the river. If your opponent's only betting the ace of spades on the river, it means, or for value at least, it means when he does bet, his range is actually kind of tight. Because if he is sitting here with a hand like queen of clubs, jack of spades, he'll often just check it behind and win the pot, right? That said, I think a lot of people are getting a little bit better to the point that they realize that you can value bet a queen and you can perhaps even value bet a jack of spades here, which means that now our opponent's range contains proportionally more hands that beat me. But imagine our opponent bets with every hand with no spade and exactly the ace of spades. Well, it's going to be like 50-50 or something like that, in which case we have an easy call because we're getting pot odds. But if our opponent's range is the ace of spades, queen of spades, or jack of spades, plus then the bluffs, then it becomes way closer. So as the opponent gets better, well, this is actually a very blanket statement. I would say as they get better and their value betting thinner, we should be more inclined to fold. But if they're betting only the ace, we should be more inclined to call, assuming they have the required number of bluffs. And some players, especially live poker, literally never have any bluffs here. They just only have the flush. So this is a neat spot where if I check and the opponent bets, I typically just hero call in these spots against anyone who's anywhere near active or competent. But that could very easily be a horribly bad losing play in games where your opponents are literally only betting the nuts. So I do check. He goes check, check. And we still win the pot. So that's good.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for not showing the hand, but telling us we won the pot.
Yeah, he
Feels
probably
so
just fired
satisfying.
it in a mug. Yeah.
Faraj Jocko, the blue balls of poker coaches.
I love that. That's so hilarious. But man, this was a fun session, Dave. You crushed it today, man. Honestly,
Yeah, I
think
learned a lot.
Analysis was right on point. You made some very astute, like situations. You picked out some good situations and stuff. So I think it was good, man.
Hey, thanks. I really enjoyed it, and I love this format with open discussion and dialoguing on these spots. I think this is so easy to learn when we put our heads together and collaborate like this. So I had fun. Thanks for inviting me, guys. I'm happy to come back anytime you'd like.
Awesome.
Awesome, man. I mean, I'm sure we're going to be doing this for, hopefully we can do this for as long as we're streaming. So we would probably love to have you on again, man. I mean, it was a great session. Honestly, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Guys, !PC in my chat, !PC in Six's chat for a link to this pokercoaching.com site. It is the site run and owned and operated by Jonathan Little himself. He's got a wealth of talented coaches, including Lexi Gavin, Matt Affleck, Alex Fitzgerald, Assassinato. Those names are so close. Me, Sixes, a bunch of other people. Check that out. You get 20 free quizzes and homework assignments. And the homework assignments are really intricate, too. You have a start with your range. XYZ happens on the board. Narrow your range. ABC happens on the turn. Narrow your range. Find out where you should be on the river. It's really intricate and fun. And a lot of things happen, too. When you win these points, you unlock other quizzes. Oh, shit. !PC is fucking dead.
Yeah, everything in Nightbot is down. I mean, we can't. I don't know if we can run giveaways. I can't get any of my commands working.
We cannot run Nightbot giveaways because I couldn't do it for Glover last night. So we might have to go stream.
We may have to double up next week or something like that, or triple up next week. If it's not working, the giveaway is not working this week, boys. We'll give something away big next week. Maybe a PC membership again or something.
Yeah.
Let's
you
talk
get all the
about
homeworks and buy-ins and everything. You get taking opportunities. So make sure you come to our chat when Nightbot is working and hit !PC. Should we announce next week? I think we should.
Yeah, I think next week. Yeah, we got. No, go ahead. You do it. You did all the work. Do your thing.
The next 2 weeks, guys, are gonna be fucking fire. Make sure you are coming in the next 2 weeks. Next week we have the one and only Jesse Sylvia. He is runner-up in the Silva or Sylvia. Damn it, did I fuck that up? No, I gotta look.
Everybody knows who you mean. The Beast.
Silva. Jesse Silva.
It's great. Yeah.
Jesse Silva.
Sylvia.
Oh, I did get it right. No, I fucking second-guessed myself. Anyway,
we got Jesse Sylvia.
Runner-up in the main event. He will be here next weekend, and then we have another main event final table that's coming the weekend after. So it is going to be fire on this stream. Sylvia, thank you, Ian. I did get it right the first time. So make sure you tune in for that. Also, I record all of these, put them on the YouTube channel. You can watch this one and every one that's ever happened before this. If you have any questions, you can go to the YouTube channel, ask your questions. If you have a question for me, I will answer right away. If you have a question for one of our guests, I will make sure that they get your question and get you an answer and get it out there for you. So make sure you do that as well. Make sure you hit the follow button, little heart-shaped icon right about, I got a wider angle camera now, there on your screen. Do it for me, do it for Sixes. Double check that you did it. Lately I've been seeing a lot of people who thought they were following and they weren't. We appreciate the support. The support helps us grow and helps us bring more of this content to you. So make sure you do that. Did I miss anything?
Nah, man, you didn't miss anything. You know, they're putting up a lot of content, webinars. It's just, site is just so always growing. There's charts. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Make sure to give our special guest, the Langolier Dave, a follow on Twitter. I threw his link in there. Man, you were awesome today. Thanks again. And obviously, Toe's been crushing the game. Don't miss out on his streams. And hit that follow button for my buddy as well. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yes.
Very good shit today.
The Langolier, and on Twitch it's the Langolier is awesome. It's Lango,
Yep.
right? On Twitch? There it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna just get his shout out. Is shout outs working?
I don't think so. It's all Nightbot.
Damn, man. No shout outs, nothing working.
Going old school.
Yeah.
All right, there's his Twitch link too. So if
Yeah.
you guys want to give a follow, make sure you do it.
That's it.
Yep.
I'll also have all that information in the YouTube description as well, so you can follow him there as well. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Lango, you streaming tomorrow?
I am no.
So
My next stream is Monday.
All right, so Monday, make sure you tune into Lango's stream. I will be streaming Monday as well for the home game, and Six and I both are going to be streaming tomorrow, so make sure you follow and tune in. And that's it. Six, I think I got you this time.
You son of a
I think I
bitch.
eked you out by one quiz.
Yeah, you got me. But I think we're gonna run the giveaway next week since there's no Nightbot, and I don't know if they're.
Oh, I just wanted to hear you say I won.
You won. You got me. I was on light heat for a couple weeks, so I was due to take an L.
Who do you want to throw the host to?
Yeah, let's both throw the host to someone. Anyone out there in the streets. Also, guys, make sure you check out Lango on the Global Poker live streams. He runs a home game and a giveaway usually like once a week, and those are awesome. I'll say that. Let's see who's out on the streets real quick. Who we can give it
I see
to.
Rodney. I see Phil Gollin Challenge, Gelfon Challenge. I see Lex. I see, I don't know.
Yeah, let's. I think we maybe give it to. I mean, you got to give it to the American guys, right? Right now, let's
give it to Quick.
Let's give it to Rodney. Yeah, let's give it to Rodney.
Rodney, one of my first supporters ever. Let's do it.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy. Hopefully, the raid and all that's working. So, all right, guys.
Yeah, that's Twitch. That should be fine.
Okay, yeah. Thank you guys for the support. We're gonna go ahead and drop this host to Rodney. Make sure to give him a follow and drop those emotes in the chat. We'd appreciate that. And have a good weekend, guys.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Peace.
Peace. Peace out, guys.